$199. Let's go. 200. Woo. Woo. Feeling good, baby. Feeling good. Woo. Oh. Hey, I guess supposed to be doing a review. Let me put on something a little more comfortable. Hold on. Arc Raiders has taken over my life, at least since release. So, I guess if you're not familiar with the game, which obviously you clicked on the video, you gotta somewhat be interested in it, or just interested in my take. I'm not gonna make this into a huge, long review. I think the game's, somewhat simple, so it doesn't need a super in-depth review. The game, to me, just to get it out the way, is very good. Good enough to where if it was out of 10, I would honestly say probably 9 out of 10. It's that good. The game visually, excellent. Gameplay, excellent. Enemies, I believe there are 17 different enemies on it. Some littler, they're called Arc. Some littler robotic enemies. The Arc. Some littler ones, I think there's about 3 or 4 of them. There's about the, little bit bigger ones that fly, right above you. Some that have machine guns on them. They got one called the Snitch that pretty much lets everything else know where you are. Then they get a little bit bigger. And those ones can be a headache. They'll just float above you and melt you. And then you got the real big ones, the Queen. A new one they just brought into the game called the Matriarch, I believe. Big robots that take a lot of damage to kill, and it takes forever, but in a fun way, So when it comes to the enemies, game's awesome. Game's perfect. I feel all the enemies, like I said, I believe there's 17. It's a wide variety of them. Even though it starts feeling like you're kind of running into the same ones a lot, 17 seems like a lot, but when you play it all the time, it's kind of like the same enemies over and over and over, which is most games. But it is cool. The newest update, they brought 2 new ones, so that's a plus. That shows you that they're, most likely these bigger updates are always going to bring new enemies, so that's good. The maps, I believe it released with 4. Now they have 5 after the last update. All the maps are good. They all have a different thing about them. You'll have, one that's kind of out in the mountains. They got grasslands, and you have some other ones that are more sand, wide open, not many places to hide. They have a map now that's just inside. Pretty much the whole map is almost like a laboratory, a big old laboratory bunker type place. So you got some that are outside, barely need cover, to ones that are inside, all cover. Nothing's really flying above you. So big variety, in the maps. The game was supposed to be free, but after time, it released at $40. I think it's well worth $40. I think it's worth $70. If they're doing the things a year down the road that they're doing now, the game is easily worth $70. My biggest question is, how long can this game last? And are the developers going to stay on this game the way they have been, where, they've updated pretty much every complaint people had. People were complaining about the store, the prices in the store. They went in there and lowered everything. And then if you bought things prior to their update, to updating the store to make it cheaper, they actually reimbursed you for paying extra. So since you paid extra in the past, they actually updated and reimbursed you the currency of the game. That's unheard of, in my opinion. I've been playing games for a long time, as you can probably tell by the outfit. And yeah, that's unheard of. I think it comes down to the future of the game. If people are going to stick with it. I know after 100 hours, it starts to start feeling repetitive. You have things you can do. They have, like, I believe 6 or 7 different benches. You'll have, mechanical bench that you can upgrade. If you get enough materials, you can build different weapons. You can make ammunition. Then they'll have like the medical bench where you make your wraps, you make all your medical stuff to keep you alive out there. You can upgrade these, but they only upgrade to like a level 3. So once you hit that level 3, then there goes all your upgrading for your benches. They have a thing called the Expedition, which is pretty much like a prestige in my eyes, because you get high enough level, you have to turn in all these materials to keep upgrading. It's talking like it's a vehicle. Like, you have to upgrade, give this vehicle a bunch of materials, and then once you get all of it done, I want to say there's 8 steps. Either way, I completed it all already. Now it's just one less thing I'm really looking at to do. So I've done all my benches, I've done all the expedition stuff, and then once the expedition thing opens, then I guess you pretty much restart. Like, you restart your character, but you'll get a few things to keep, and they got to give you something for pretty much prestiging is what it is to me. You're restarting and you get to keep stuff, and there's going to be something by your name or something somewhere saying that you have, prestige once. I don't even know what to call it, expedition or restart. I don't know what to call it, but in my eyes, it's prestiging. That's already done. So at this point, 100 hours, I've pretty much done almost everything. Now it's really just looting. And what's funny is the game is good enough just doing that. Certain things about this game that keep you hooked. I don't know if it's like the feeling of like suspense or finding something really good and trying to make it back to extract, just to put it in your vault and kind of hang on to it until you can use it at a different time. But there's a feeling to the game where it just always feels like unsafe. You'll find something really good and there's a big chance you might not make it back with that thing. And I think that is a feeling that most games don't have. Most games it's just straight PvP. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna die, or you're gonna kill a bunch of people, but it's never like uncertainty of the outcome. And this game is doing that as of now very, very well. The way people play it also different than any game I've ever played. I've never played a game where 99% of the community are friendly. You can kill anyone at any time. But for some reason with this game, everyone's playing friendly. It's kind of mind-boggling, because you'll be hearing people like asking if you're friendly and that they're friendly before you can even see them. They're like hiding in a bush, just like, hey dude, I'm friendly, from a bush. You don't even know where they're at. You're like, where are you? And they're just not wanting to fight. They're just trying to do a quest, or they're trying to loot. They don't want to die, and that's awesome to me. It's a different feeling of a game, something that I don't think many people are used to. I think everyone's so used to, like, oh, there's a player, you try killing them, you're fighting now. But you do get the few in there. You get the ones who, and I gotta admit, I have been that guy. I've lost 1 or 2 things from getting killed, and I go get a free loadout and I go in there, I kill anyone I see. But you do run into them, and I think that's what makes the game feel the way it feels, because you never know who it is. And I know people get mad. I know people are like, oh, you're ruining the game. I hear people saying that they're ruining the game. They need to make a PvE playlist where you can't kill each other, but then it's just taken away from the game. The game is supposed to feel unsafe. The game is supposed to feel dangerous as soon as you get up there. It's not only Ark, the enemy you have to watch for, it's other players. It's people who could be pretending to be friendly. I've had people say like, let's work together. We'll work together for 15 minutes. And right before we run into our extraction, they shoot me in my back and they kill me and they've taken my loot. And that's just the consequences of trusting, I guess. So it makes you always like watch them. Even guys who I've played whole matches with, you know, randoms who you kind of link up with out there. Yeah, I'm constantly watching them. When I'm looting something, I got my camera turned where I can see them. And that saved me a lot. I've seen people, you know, no gun in hand, and as soon as I start looting, they pull their rifle out and they pointing at me, and I dive away, and it's a fight. You know, and that is what keeps the game interesting. So I hope they don't change it. I hope they don't start making PvE stuff and then have a PvP playlist. Like, I hope they don't start doing that. Then it's just going to turn out like every other game where people are just fighting. People are going to the PvP just to slaughter each other, and then people going to PvE, and it's just it just takes away the whole purpose of the game. Because if you make a PvE and say you make a PvP, no one's going to be playing the game how it was intended to be played. It's going to be regular PvP, PvE. No one's going to be in regular. Everyone's either going to be in fighting each other or everyone getting along. So they need to keep it how it is. Just keep it how it is. And trust me, I get mad when I get killed, but it makes it fun. If they change that, I think it's going to ruin the game. So I'm hoping they stick to their guns by saying this is the way the game is supposed to be. So if you haven't played the game, play it. If you haven't bought it, buy it. It is that good. I'm giving you my word. You'll be hooked. It's something different. And it's fun. There's no complaints from anywhere. The few complaints I've had, they have fixed them. Go out there, pick it up. You know, this is a game to support. I really believe that. If you like these little bit shorter reviews, just straight up some really cool dude in some outfit, you know what I mean? Then hit the like button. It helps me a lot. Subscribe would really help me a lot. And comment if there's anything I left out that's super important. Because like I said, this ain't a super in-depth review. This is more a review of if we were buddies talking, I'd be like, hey man, this game's awesome. It's got this, this, and this. You should try it out. That's kind of what I want. You know, I hate when I'm watching reviews and it's an hour and a half review, and at the end, I didn't get anything out of it. All I did is learned everything, but it's like, I want to learn that on the game. I just want to know, should I be buying this, or is this a waste of my money, you know? So I want to make reviews more like that. I'll tell you a little bit about the game, but I want you to go try it. I want you to learn as you play, just like all of us have. And that's half of the fun. That's half of the enjoyment of buying it. So hit that subscribe button if you would. Hit the like button. Comment on anything I left out that you feel I should have put in here. Comment if you don't like the game. Comment if you think the game's going to last or if it's going to die in a year. You know, I've had people tell me they think it's going to be like Helldivers. Super pumped. Everyone's all about it. And now you don't hear about Helldivers no more. But it was just like this. I remember Helldivers being looked at just like this. But to me, this is way better than Helldivers. It feels better, looks better, sounds better. It's better. So all I can say now is thank you for watching it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. I appreciate you watching it. And I'm going to be coming out with more of these for games that seem, in my opinion, to be worth it. And I'm going to keep releasing videos. So if you subscribe, you can come on with the ride. I haven't been doing this long, but I'm going to be doing it for a long time. So I guess this is the end for now. But I'll definitely see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.